They people just love fucking with lore. They just love it. They love it. So Mara Jade put this. Well, Amazon Studios proves once again they can't even get basic lore right. So here we have the dwarven princess Disa, played by Sophia Nomvit, standing at Khazad-dûm's entrance. Now, there's two things wrong with this picture. Can you tell me what those two things are? How many black dwarves have we seen? Now, I'm not saying they don't exist, but you have to remember, when Tolkien was writing these books, the areas he was living in, they were not culturally diverse. Therefore, he wrote based on what he saw. So his characters, if you look in the movies, they're predominantly white. But here we have fucking black and Asian hobbits. We're having fucking black dwarven princesses. And also notice the lack of facial hair. Because even according to Gimli, you really can't tell the difference between a male and female dwarf. Because even female dwarves have beards. Did dwarf women have beards? Yes. The most canonical evidence for this comes in Appendix A, where it is said of dwarf women that they are in voice and appearance, and in garb if they must go on a journey. So like to the dwarf men, that the eyes and ears of others cannot tell them apart. It seems that male dwarves of Middle-earth all have beards, among other evidence. As Bilbo sets out on his adventure in The Hobbit, we read that his only comfort was that he couldn't be mistaken for a dwarf, as he had no beard. Given that quote, the quote must imply that dwarf women were bearded as well. However, we do not simply need to rely on such implications. Tolkien answered this question explicitly in other texts. In The War of the Jewels, Tolkien wrote that no man nor elf has ever seen a beardless dwarf, unless he were shaven in mockery, and would then be more like to die of shame. For the now grim have beards from the beginning of their lives, male and female alike. In The Peoples of Middle-earth, Christopher Tolkien says that a similar statement was present in an earlier draft of Appendix A as well. As these statements are entirely in agreement with canonical evidence cited above, the conclusion that dwarf women had beards seems inescapable. So, let's just keep ruining lore for the sake of diversity, shall we? If you want to fucking ruin someone's lore, go make your own fucking lore. If you want to ruin something like Lord of the Rings, go make your own version of it. Something that's not Lord of the Rings, something that isn't placed in Middle-earth. Make your own characters. Make your own language for those characters. Make your own beginning of time story. Stop fucking with established lore. And see, this is what they're going to do. They made these characters colored, just a black. And then when people say, there are no black dwarves, there are no, where's the beard? They can start saying, well, it's fantasy. Yeah, but you're taking someone's established works. This isn't like Tolkien is not a fucking no-name person. He pretty much set in place, pretty much when it comes to, mainstream elves and dwarves and hobbits and this and that, all these fantasy games we have, this dude started it. Like Dungeons and Dragons. This dude fucking started it. So he's not some fucking no-name piece of shit writer. The least you can do is fucking respect the man's work. You can say, okay, I can get past even the fucking black hobbits or whatever, because we didn't see all of Middle-earth. But when we saw the Shire and everywhere else that had hobbits, they were white. When you saw the peoples of Middle-earth, did you really see many black people? That's like saying black elves. I mean, we saw a huge majority of the elves. Were any of them black? So stop putting your fucking diversity bullshit for the sake of diversity. What you? This is just gonna make people hate the show even more, make people tune away from it even more, and then typical being racist. What's the matter? You know, like strong black female characters? No, we hate it when you take canonical lore and fuck it up for the sake of diversity. Because she's a strong, empowered female dwarf. She don't need no man. It's okay. No one's gonna really watch this anyway. If you've seen the trailer for it, it looks like something you'd get on the fucking PS2 or something. And this is not the only time where they've taken established. They've done this to real life people. Let me introduce you to Anne Boleyn, second wife of Henry. You know, Henry VIII, mother of Queen Elizabeth I of England. As you can see, she is a white woman. Anne Boleyn official trailer. Some reason, a movie documenting this woman's life, suddenly she's a fucking black woman. White, black. White, black. Why? Diversity. Because some people want to see themselves. There are times where you can race swap and it's fine. But when there's a canonical and established lore, such as something like this, not only is she black, she's got no fucking beard, which looks stupid as hell, honestly. You know, considering the fact that they've said you can't tell them apart. But they also, historical figures they do this to. White woman. Let's just make her a black woman now. A real life person, let's just totally fucking race swap them. This is the shit we're dealing with. And then when you call it out, they just call you a fucking racist. Oh, you're just a fucking racist. No, why did you take, historically, this was a real person. Why did you take a person who was white historically? She was King Henry VIII's wife. She was white. Why did you make her black? Now, if they were to take someone who was black and make them white, uproar. Well, that's whitewashing. Why did you take a strong, proud black female and make her white? You're fucking racist. But they have no problem taking historic figures who are white and making them black. Funny how that works. They have no problem taking established lore by a man and just completely fucking that up too. And people wonder why. These people who make this shit wonder why others get so pissed off. Like I said, maybe there were dwarves who were black, but you have to put in yourself in the mindset of the man who was writing it. He wrote about, you know, based on his area, his life, and this and that. There weren't that many people of color back then. So the stories are going to reflect that. It's not anything racist nowadays. It's just that was how it was at the time. But forcing it, don't force it. If you want to force it, make your own shit. Don't take something established like Lord of the Rings that have plenty, millions upon millions of fans, and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna make some black and Asian hobbits. We're gonna have this black dwarf queen, even though most likely the rest of the dwarves are gonna be fucking white. We're gonna have a black dwarf princess for no fucking reason. Don't. Make your own version. Okay, stop fucking with things. Just stop. That's it for me. And this is why we can't have good things in this day and age, in modern day, because of this. Because of this. Because of this bullshit. They want to fucking race swap everything, try to close this inequity between races, make your own shit. Make up your own creative, original ideas. Stop fucking taking things like historically, real historic figures and race swapping out of your fucking ideology of, oh, we gotta be as diverse as possible. People need to see themselves in these characters. Well, she's not a character. She was a real person. And she was fucking white. But hey, what do I know? Anyways, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.